Hey guys, this is Eric Guido. I am currently in the SJR Vineyard within the Rocks district of Milton Freewater. This is Delmas's vineyard, and we're here amongst the Syrah vines. Very interesting AVA that we've been talking about a lot. Definitely a hot topic of conversation in the United States, as the Rocks really has a very distinct terroir. As you can see here, these cobblestones can be found throughout the entire AVA. In some cases, when you would look at one of these vineyards, all you would see are stones. Now, I'm here right now in the third week of September. Perfect example of this region in general. Yesterday it was about 75 degrees. Now it's about 43 degrees. Beautiful sunrise, though. We're actually in Oregon, but most people, when they think of the Rocks District, at least at this time, they're thinking Washington State. And the reason for that is that the Rocks District exists within the larger Walla Walla AVA, which spans both of the states, and many producers from Washington are pulling fruit from this area. You're going to see a lot of development coming through here. Major varietals, Rhone varieties, definitely big time here, but also producers are loving Cabernet Sauvignon from these soils. I've been tasting a lot of these wines. Absolutely gorgeous, high pH, soft, lovely wines. Majority of what I'm tasting right now is coming from the 2021 and 2022 vintages, 2 years that couldn't be more different. 2021 was the heat dome year, but you'd be surprised because producers in a region like Washington are very well adapted to dealing with drought and heat. They have good amount of irrigation coming from the river here, and when it comes to the heat itself, I mean, some of these producers will actually tell you that they are desert farmers. So the 2021s, actually surprisingly good. I mean, don't get me wrong, they are rich, they are powerful, but they have sweet tannins, and in many cases find a really lovely balance. Whereas 2022 was actually a cold and rainy year. So this is interesting for me because coming from the more European perspective that I have a longer history with, when I think cool vintage, I get really excited. But again, these producers are more used to the heat than they are to the cooler conditions. And so with the 2022s, I mean, I'm loving them. They are elegant, graceful, lifted, very soft, fruit focused, and in many cases they have these sweet tannins that just make them truly seductive. However, some problems that exist in 2022 is that many winemakers didn't know when to harvest this fruit. I was actually here mid-October of that year, and many producers had not even begun their harvest. And what this really comes down to, in my opinion, is when in a state like Washington, where many producers are depending on farmers to tell them when is the right time to pick, what's going on in the vineyard, I'm finding that the producers that have a deeper understanding of their vineyard and what's going on there from day to day tend to be the ones that really succeeded. It's a little too early to make final judgments here. I can tell you I've been tasting a lot of great Rhone varieties, which again is one of the variety list of varieties from the Rhone that really do excel here in the Rocks. You can expect to see a lot more exciting projects coming from here and a lot more growth as well. All in all, Washington State, the wines I've been tasting so far on this trip have been absolutely fabulous, but it's going to be really interesting to see what's to come down the road.